Καταξεχύνεται στο γήπεδο, πλησιάζει την περιοχή και...
Κατέβασε και εσύ το Bet On Alfa app και μη χάσεις ούτε ένα γκολ. Bet On Alfa. Ανεβήκαμε κατηγορία.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to No Choftes 2022 review. Now, I know what you lot are thinking. It's 2023, Dora. We're almost at the beginning of February. Why didn't you do this at the beginning of January or the end of December? You're right. I should have done it sooner. But we did almost 90 live shows in 2022. Think about it. Almost 90 shows. There's only 52 weeks in a year. And there was the World Cup. 90 shows. We're talking match reviews, interviews, just reactions, therapy shows. And to be honest, what you're about to see are just the best bits from the live shows, excluding interviews. Yeah? So I haven't even included footage from the interviews. You have got 2 hours. 2 hours of footage. Do you know how difficult it is going through shows? Yeah, some shows are like an hour long, some are 45 minutes. Do you know how difficult it is? And there's thousands of minutes worth of footage I haven't even put on. So I broke it down to 2 hours. I hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your nunna, fuck ANTROPI. And again, on behalf of all the boys, because Roy, Chris, and Muggy don't know that I've done this, thank you again for your support. It's been an incredible 3 years. God, we're into our third year. We're moving into the fourth year. Is it fourth year? I can't even count. Embarrassing, whatever. It's fucking 9:45 at night, and I've finally finished doing this. So give me a bly. But yeah, thank you again for your support. Thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to Bet On Alfa. Thank you to everyone that's been contributing, that's been subscribing, that's been so supportive. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. So kick back, enjoy. Wow, what a journey. 2022. Happy New Year, Gobanya, first of all. Kali from ya.
Happy New Year, brother.
I should be walking around with a fucking air freshener because we stunk the place out.
Repaña, Restel. Repaña.
Turnips, radishes.
But even still, it's going to be a monumental task. And the fact that we're just talking about we need to get in Exala, that says it all. We've gone from champions to hoping we get in the top 6. Come on, man. I can't.
We're not getting.
No, I'm not saying. I'm
We're
not
just saying
that
today. I mean, we all agreed many times this year that Kaku is probably the most improved player we have this season, and one of the few who stepped up this season. But if we're talking about today, even today, it wasn't as if he was bad. But like you said, he has to start finishing, especially now with Dura out and Chepa, not having the season he expected and we expected. The weight falls on his shoulders as well a bit more because this is, don't forget, his third season in the first team. So even though he has improved his body, his tactical understanding of the game, he presses, he tracks back.
As I was saying before, it tells us that the league is improving. It tells us that our academy is top notch, and it gives younger players, not just Omonoia, but other clubs as well, the motivation and the belief that they can be spotted from other clubs around the world.
It's reached to a point. Sorry,
It's okay, bro. It's okay. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. I'm pissed off.
Εν καλά, θωρίζουμε ότι προσπαθώ να είμαι και πολλά ήρεμος και τούτον and it's part of the fact that I have accepted that this is the 5th or 6th time that we had the opportunity to make a counter-attack, and they have failed us. They have failed us big time. And today, for me, it was one of the worst performances I have ever seen.
For those of you looking at the banner below, remember the 7th of September. Why, you may ask? What's so significant about the 7th of September? Well, if you cast your mind back, or if you subscribe to his channel, we need to go back to the 7th of September when I dropped the video. It was after the Antwerp second leg. We got knocked out of the Europa League qualifiers. I did a video, an in-depth analysis onto the type of goals that we have conceded this season so far. 7 games in. It was the Super Cup against the Godes, it was Flora, it was Dinamo Zagreb, and it was Antwerp. And I said it then, we need to address our defensive issues. We need to avoid the silly mistakes. We need to prevent shooting ourselves in the foot. Because if we continue to do so, our season is going to be over before it's even begun. In England, we say, remember the 5th of November, because it represented Guy Fawkes attempting to blow up Parliament. He failed. And on the 7th of September, I addressed the issues, and the club has failed to address these issues, be it a tactical thing, be it an individual thing. We've gone past the stage of blaming players individually. We can't say, it's Huberchan's fault. We can't say it's Lesiak's fault. It's a team problem. Yesterday, the 2 goals that we conceded pretty much summed up our season. It did, didn't it? Because we've gone from winning the league title with numerous clean sheets to a team that just cannot defend.
But we stick to the point, bu thelun Geron, thelun Chronon, Geo Zahariu, Geo Baris. Zahariu is really fast. He can do a lot of things for us on the wing, but he's been unlucky. Baris, he's fast. He looks like he has a strong body, but he hasn't. It takes time. That's just how it is.
And I don't know if you guys can. So Varda's got the ball right at the top. Sati's on him, which, okay, I think he's fine there because he's expecting Varda to come inside, because that's what Varda does. He doesn't take the ball on the outside. He very rarely takes the ball on the outside because I think he's predominantly right-footed. So he's always looking to bring it inside. But what you're seeing is Carrera making that overlap, right? And at that point, you're thinking, well, is Sati going to go with the man? Because you can see his arms out. So he's either saying to someone, track him, or I can't get to him, or I'm going to get to him. Loizo is here. He's miles away. So usually you'd expect Loizo to come and close down Varda and let Sati go with a man. But I think because Loizo is so far away, there's nothing you can do. You got the forward here pointing, asking for the ball to be played in the box. But this is the guy that scores. And look how far he is. I mean, he's already, 4 or 5 yards away from Yordi. So Yordi's got a run on him, but it doesn't track him. Yordi's too busy looking at the ball. The ball comes in the box. And look, you got Banayodu waiting to challenge Novotny. Here's the guy that scores the goal. And look at where Yordi is. Look where Jan is. I'm thinking about one of these two tracking this one. Okay, you can say this guy, maybe Jan is focused on him, but it ain't going to be a deep cross. You can tell the guy's already pulling it back. So I just think it's a calamity. And when the ball's in, that's it. He's got an open goal. Like Fabi's at his near post. I can't blame him because more often than not, goalkeepers are told, stay at your near post. By the time the ball's put in, then you've got time to come across. But it should have been dealt with. It should have been dealt with. And yeah, anyway. But like I said, I'm not going to go into it too deep because this has been the story of our season. It happens a lot. So it's to be expected. No disrespect. It's to be expected. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because we got our own WhatsApp group with Roy and Chris. And for the past month, and I don't think Chris will mind me saying this, God, bro, you wake up and there's a WhatsApp message. Obviously, they're 2 hours ahead of us. So I wake up first thing in the morning, blurry-eyed, and I know. After like the 3rd day, I'm thinking, Chris is going to say, have we made any more signings? Have we made any signings? I'm like, fucking hell, Chris. But anyway, man, just be patient. But we've done it. We've signed 2 players. and that might pacify a few people. Pedrui,
Γεια σας, κοπέγια.
how are you?
Καλά ρε φίλε, καλά.
This guy's stalking me, Roy. You know that?
Yeah, he
He's
is.
stalking me. He messaged me the other day, or was it, no, the other week. He goes to me, "Are you coming to Cyprus?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And he says he's working with the Italian government, like he's some kind of Don Corleone. I don't want to hear none of this shit. What you tap my phone now? What's wrong with you?
Secret.
No, I don't want to hear no secrets. I don't like secrets.
So that's why I'm not telling you.
Ettore, welcome to the No Choftes podcast. This is the post-match review. Aris 0, Omonoia 2, back to winning days. Today's going to be a very, very, very special
That's
podcast.
the worst intro I've ever seen in my life. The worst intro. My God. Terrible.
It's
Absolutely terrible. Rubbish.
I
We're
was
never doing this.
building it up like my pitch.
No. I want to see this wall, this sticker that you're building. It's rubbish.
Stop it. We start it again.
Ade, go buy your Gean or whatever you're going to buy. Ade.
Can you kick me out?
I can kick you out. Ade, fuck off.
Got what we deserved from the game. This might happen, by the way. My alarm goes off by itself all the time, so I don't know if that will be a problem. Fuck's sake.
Wow. Okay. Is that a reset button? Can you reset our season?
I wish I could, but που πάλι ήρθαμε κατά τύχης εν πήγαμε εξάδα γαμώ τη μάνα σου που στο πράγμα γαμώ. Fuck's sake, δεν λέει. Δεν σταματά,
This is worse than our season.
Τέλεια ρε φίλε, τέλεια ας πούμε.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, man. I can't help but laugh. It's just typical.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. Come on, Spice Girls.
τι θέλω, τι είναι το πράγμα θέλω. Θέλουμε να με κοφτεί ρε φίλε.
This is what you do. You pick up the phone and you say, Jesper, sporting director. Yeah? Jesper Fredberg, bring the guy back. I don't care what was said before because I know that a certain podcast we did rattled a few people and how, we don't mention his name. We don't mention his name. Get him on the blower, get him on the plane, get him a sporting director. Because we need someone. We need the guy that knows football, that can talk to the higher-ups and has a relationship with the head coach. Okay? The guy loves Omonoia. He would jump at the opportunity to come to the club, provided things are done properly, provided there's some structure there, provided there's some support there. I don't want to hear a president coming out saying, we've got a budget. We got a better budget. No. Put your money where your mouth is. Yeah? Talk is cheap. We say that there's no one bigger than the club. But I think the powers that be, the administration, and we might get into a bit of trouble for this. I get the feeling they've bitten off more than they can chew now. I really do think this because there's gonna be big changes required because you can't just sack the manager and bring someone else in to work with this current group of players. No doubt he's going to want to bring in his own players, his own coaching staff. It's starting from scratch. I don't know. What do you think?
They might be good businessmen or whatever in their field, but when it comes to making decisions about a football club and players and the way forward, you have to be a bit lucky, to say the least, to fill in the shoes of the most successful manager we had in the history. And not only that, he was, like you said, the biggest name or one of the biggest names whoever was in this club. I don't think there's anyone bigger than Mr. Berg as a name. And that directly means respect. You know, if you've seen the posts of almost all the players posted stories about Henning Berg.
The second new manager under this administration, and they're going to want to get this one right as well. And I said it a long time ago. Baba Stavro is a businessman, and he won't want to be throwing money left, right, and center, sacking managers left, right, and center if the going gets tough or when the going gets tough. What I will say, and again, this might rub up people the wrong way or certain people the wrong way. I don't think we can fully trust what's being said by the club at the top. And the reason why I say this is because cast your mind back to, you know, when Baba Stavro had that press conference when the deal with Papa John fell through. You know, he was saying nothing's going to change. We're going to keep our philosophy. We're going to, you know, keep doing what we're doing. Nothing's going to change. Less than a month later, Larko goes. So that's the first change. And now Henning Berg's gone. So clearly things change. Circumstances change. I get that. I get it. But right at this moment in time, and I'm saying because this is fresh, ask me in 2-3 weeks, I might change my opinion. But right at this moment in time, this sacking seems like a knee-jerk reaction. It seems like they've panicked and they've jumped the gun.
I would say Lennon's a very, very rigid person. He's very much more the motivation side of management, not the tactical side of management. That's the easiest way I would say to describe him.
That doesn't bode well. I'm sorry. It doesn't bode well. Wow, what are we gonna say? Neil Lennon, yay or nay? Enksero, you know, as we say in Cyprus, gadishimas, which basically means we're fucked. So until next time. Now, Neil Lennon has, as Andrea says here, sorry, legend with 10 trophies in 2 spells, last 16 of the Champions League. Well, hey, how long ago was that? That's the first question. Because football progresses. And if you're going to keep talking about the past, let's dig up all the other stuff in the past. But hey, listen, it is what it is. And on this podcast, we try to stay real, we try to be honest, and we try to be as supportive as we possibly can. Now, I wouldn't have selected him as the Omonoia head coach. You know, especially after this morning's podcast I did with Kevin, who knows Celtic inside and out. And he told us 4-4-2, standard system, which is what we've been playing all season. He doesn't rely on pace, which is what we need. He doesn't trust youth, which is what we need. There are so many things. They can't defend crosses. They can't defend corners. This is something that we've been suffering this season. So all these things that a Celtic fan knows, that's seen the flaws of this manager, he's gone balls deep and he's told us the facts. However, I'm going to flip it now. What's to say in the time off that Neil Lennon has had, he hasn't thought about different things, how he can improve as a head coach? God bless Callum, a good friend of mine who actually helped me get the interview with Kevin. Callum McFadden, top bloke. And he said to me earlier, Neil Lennon applied for the Sunderland job and they didn't want him. So why does he come to Omonoia? Why have Omonoia gone for him? To be honest, it's a shock to me. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Is it because he was happy to take the job straight away and that the other managers or head coaches that they offered the job to or were in talks with wanted it in the summer and we need someone ASAP? Lennon signed till 2024. And whether we like it or not, we're going to have to back the guy. I'm not going to, go back on what I said on the other podcast the other day. And I distinctly remember saying, regardless of who comes in, we need to be supportive. We need to back them because it's going to be a very, very difficult job. So this is what we're going to do in this podcast. We're going to back the manager because that is the done thing to do. You're not going to hear me on every podcast from now until he loses his job saying, Lennon out, he's shit, he's rubbish. Because when Henning Berg was going through a difficult phase, we were saying, give him the opportunity. Give him the opportunity. I'm going to go back to, again, what I said on the last podcast I did before this morning. I said, the manager that comes in, is going to be given ample opportunities to do what he needs to do, because the powers that be that brought him in, it's on their watch. I will be very surprised if he leaves the job before the end of his contract. I'll be very surprised on that basis. Because even if results aren't great, if they see progress, if they see that he's towing the line, doing as they expected him to, then you'll be safe. But the fact is, Gobella, we're the league champions. We've had a dreadful season. We're in the bottom half of the table. We're in the relegation zone, if you want to call it that, even though I don't think we're going to go down. I can't see that happening. But we're still in the cup. So is there a chance that Lennon will come in and give these players a kick up the arse? Because that's what they need, really. He can't sign any players, can he? So he's going to have to play with the hands that he's been dealt with, the cards that he's been dealt with. So he's got to do something. And if the cup is our route to Europe, which that's the only possible way of getting into the Europa League, then we've got to back him, we've got to trust him, and the players need to buy into his philosophy, whatever it is.
I want to talk about this game very briefly. I've taken some highlights. I'm just going to show you some of the chances that happened, especially in the first half. And we could have been 2 or 3 goals down by the first 45 minutes. That's a golden opportunity. This is Guggle's half chance, which I said earlier, probably should have made a better connection on that. But again, one person in the box. Bale, look at the marking. There's no marking. 2 central defenders have gone for Sadiq. And that you can't do that. You need to have a leader that says, right, I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to stick to the man. And we gave the ball away sloppily, as you saw here. In the middle of the park, you can't do that. It's a suicide ball. If he looked up, Sadiq was on his left. And again, this is a through ball.
That was too easy.
Exactly. And these are mistakes that we're making throughout the season. It's common for us. And we got lucky with this one as well, because Guggle was the furthest man forward. He had the initiative to make that run across the defender. Again, you could say it's soft, but he's shoved him. He shoved him. And Joe, I'm happy for Guggle to get on the score sheet, because he needs more goals. He needs the confidence. And hopefully at this stage of the season, with these games, this is the goal. Look, he's running for traffic. You've got 2 players ahead of him. Do you get what I'm saying? And play to the whistle, boys, because there's 3 players complaining. Now the ball goes out wide. Sutty isn't tight enough on the man. The overlapping runner, you've got Crystal there. Why isn't Crystal chasing the man? Ball comes in the box, and look, that's terrible defending. And this is what's been happening all season. So it's nothing new.
Look how wide they are. Look how wide they are. Look where Lang is and look where Bana is. That's unacceptable from two seconds.
It's not just
too wide.
But it's not just that. No one's communicating, right? Because as the ball's gone in the box, look, as the ball's gone in the box, Bana is playing him on side. But if you look at the other 3 defenders, they're all in the line. So it's just him that's keeping Sadiq on side. If he's 2 yards further forward, right, to be in line with Lang, or 3 yards further forward, Sadiq's offside. But this is the lack of communication. This, again, I hate repeating myself, but this has happened throughout the season. We said there are no leaders defensively. No one's holding the line. No one is talking. No one's communicating. And I'm not saying that if Michael was there, it would have made a huge difference, because, listen, he was a fantastic leader at the back.
Jordi.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to compare him to anyone, because I want him to be ο Χάμπος της Ομόνοιας, not the Χάμπος, όχι ο νέος Τζόρτι, όχι ο νέος, δηλαδή θέλω να βάλουμε και εμείς πίεση παραπάνω στο Χάμπο. Μακάρι ρε φίλε, μακάρι να συνεχίσει να δουλέψει.
Και νομίζω να συνεχίσει έτσι, he's gonna be, μπορεί να παίξει και Αγγλία και έτσι, but I hope εμείς σαν οπαδοί να μην αρκέψουμε να βάλουμε την ίδια πίεση που έκαναμε με τον Λοΐζον, because that is not going to end nicely. I hope we can keep him humble. The kid is humble. I hope we can relax a little bit with the pressure, because if it starts τα ίδια ρε φίλε, να δούμε κάτι παρόμοιο με τον Λοΐζο, because they're still kids. There's a certain amount of pressure a kid can take at that age, and especially with his experience.
I'm going to come up with some hard facts here for people to realize what this lad has achieved in 2 years. Now, I'm going to use post-COVID, because COVID was the break when the end of the season, and obviously there was a few months and players weren't playing football. So I'm going to go by last season. Last season, Loizu played 36 league games. That involves 20 in the league, 7 in the playoffs, 2 cup. Sorry. Apology. He played 36 games overall, club. Yeah, 20 league, 7 playoff, 2 Gibello, 4 Champions League qualifiers, 3 Europa League group games. Right, so that's 36 games as a teenager. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous amount of games that he played. Right, that's just with Omonoia. Right, if you want to talk about national team from 2020 until now, he played in the World Cup qualifiers against Slovakia, Slovenia, Malta, Russia, Slovakia, Croatia, Malta, and he was on the bench against Croatia. He wasn't in the squad for Russia and Slovenia, which were 2 games back-to-back in the space of 3 days, but he played friendlies against the Czech Republic, Hungary, Ukraine. He played in the Nations League, Montenegro, Azerbaijan, Luxembourg, Azerbaijan again, Montenegro, and he was on the bench against Luxembourg. A total of 52 games between 2020 and 2021. If you want to include some national team games for going into 2021 or the season, like beginning of this season, fine. But 52 games in a calendar year. That's an incredible amount of games. Okay, now let's talk about this season, right? This season, he's played 37 games for Omonoia in total. And that's not include. Obviously, there's still more games to play. We've got the rest of the playoffs and potentially the rest of the Gibello. 22 league, 1 playoff, 2 in the Gibello, 4 Champions League, 2 Champions League qualifiers, 4 Europa League qualifiers, 6 Conference League games. You're looking at a kid that has played 89 games in 2 years. So he's knackered. And for him not to be called up to the national team, for me, that's a blessing in disguise.
So all in all, listen, I think that it's really difficult when you're deflated as a team to play this group. Let's not forget, it's the first time Omonoia plays at this group. Okay. And yes, we can say that this is an opportunity for some players to get some more minutes. But on the other hand, I'm not judging them strictly, but I'm afraid this might be the first time that I'm disagreeing with you to that extent. I mean, I can meet you sort of halfway and understand that you're trying to see the positives. I didn't see so many positives this time around, but on the other hand, on the flip side, I think that the fact that the games are not so important, and the fact that players might be a bit deflated, because you can't get into a fighting mode when you're not really provoked, let's say, you know? It's like, okay, let's just play.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, when you're playing Tavli or you're playing Gonga with a friend and nothing is on the line, like money, for example, you still want to win, don't you?
Yep.
Footballers got that animal instinct in them that once they cross that white line, they flick a switch and they don't want to lose games. They don't want to lose games. And the way that this season has gone, I'm pretty sure all of our players don't want to be losing games, because people will say, well, you know, these games are meaningless and yet you're still not showing up for them, because they're going to get the criticism from people. I'm gonna make this as quick as possible and as painless as possible, because when we did the pre-show with Stefano and Chris and Cafu, and thank you, Cafu, for coming on, we were saying if we see progress, if we see better football and the results aren't great, at least we can say, right, there's progress being made. But today, Gobella, I'm going to say this right now. And I know some of the players are going to be watching, some, not all of them, okay? They probably won't want to watch this podcast after that fucking performance. And I know a lot of them I talk to personally. I know I get on with them. But I'm not going to hold back here. Today's performance was a fucking embarrassment. Utter embarrassment. And do you know what? You could talk to me about it being a dead rubber game. I can understand. It's a meaningless kind of game. Winning the game ain't going to really make that much of a difference. Losing the game ain't going to make that much of a difference. But let me tell you something. This club is a very proud club. We've been through a lot as supporters, yeah? Just look at the history of the club, how it was created, right? Blood, sweat, and tears. What do we see today? Resilient. That's the word to describe today's performance. Shambolic. And I don't care who I piss off with this. Yeah? Because when I see footballers on the pitch playing the way that a lot of them did today, I'm thinking, do you actually want to play for this club? Do you want to be here next season? Because let me tell you something. This back end of the season ain't an audition for the supporters. It's an audition for the manager. Because he's going to be looking at these players and thinking, how many of you are committed in games that really don't mean anything? Because let me tell you something. Effort, commitment, heart, it's a given. The moment you step foot in the club, be it in training, be it on the pitch, be it in the fucking toilet when you're doing your piss test, you give commitment, you give heart, desire. That's a given. And today I saw nothing. Absolutely nothing. So this is a wake-up call, Gobelja. Today was the worst performance of the season. Our season's been shit. But today was the worst performance of the season. I am livid. Absolutely livid. But you know what? If they think that it's all right, we're going to forget this result because we got IL midweek. Boys, I don't want anything like this ever again. Yeah? IL, I don't care if you have to pull a rabbit out your fucking asses to get a victory. Today was a wake-up call because we played again against a team that was stronger than us, they were more physical than us, better tactically, and they wanted it more. And I'm sorry if this hurts a lot of these players' feelings, because from what I understand from footballers, they don't like being told, well, the opponents wanted it more. Today proved it. Bad passing, misplaced balls, sloppy. There was so much wrong. The goals that we conceded were so typical of us this season. Mix, ball watching for the first. Lang not clearing his lines properly, which led to the penalty being conceded. Eustace not getting anywhere near the guy that hit the overhead kick. And as for the ball being delivered into the box, terrible. I am telling you lot now, this manager does not fuck about. Yeah? This manager does not fuck about. So if you keep pissing about and putting in performances like you did this evening, he's going to get you out the door. It's that simple. You lot should know football is cutthroat. Yeah? You don't get many second chances. So if you want to continue playing this way, get out the door. Get out the door. The ironic thing is, I remember we lost to Olympiacos last season away from home 1-0 at the Magario, and I said players need to step up or step out. Now's your opportunity to step up. Because if you don't step up, ed importa, exo. Ella, Chris.
What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? I wanted to have a fucking relaxing night.
I'm telling you, man.
What was that? What was that?
Bro, let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. Yeah, we are live, yeah?
No,
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right? From the first time I started doing these fucking Instagram videos, hyping up these players and giving them all the love I could fucking possibly do, for the fact that you started coming on the podcast, Roy, because you enjoyed the positivity. You saw me talking about the club in a different vein. Chris, the same as you. Yeah? Have you ever seen me this fucking knocked off? This is a meaningless game. Yeah? So really, me being angry don't make no fucking sense. But like I said in the WhatsApp group, yeah? This performance, right? This performance, the fact that it showed that no one really gave too much of a shit, that pisses me off. Because like I said before, heart and effort is a fucking given. And today there weren't no fucking heart. Nothing. Pissed. Bash was phenomenal. I think Mix had a very, very good game. But the one thing I will say about Mix, and here comes Stel's criticism, he's too soft, man. He's too soft. That's the one thing I will say. He's a nice guy, man. He's a nice guy. You know, you could tell, like, I think he's a romantic as well. Do you think he's one of them guys that serenades his wife? Like, he plays the guitar outside the window on Valentine's Day. And
that's a clip, man. That's a clip for you.
He does L'Oreal adverts and all that kind of stuff with the long hair. And, you know, he's like, what's that guy? the guy that was in the Joker and long hair, he's dead now. What's his name?
He's dead now.
The actor, I forget his fucking name. Is he dead?
Yeah,
I don't even know. But he looks like he could be like a Matthew McConaughey. He could do rom-coms. That's what Mitch could do. He could be rom-coms. But yeah, I think he had a good game. He had a good game.
The league, I think that Fabi was the MVP. And hopefully this season he's going to be the MVP if we win the cup. And today he did exactly that. He had 2 saves when it mattered the most. When I think there was a point where we had created 14 chances and IL just won. And then after the 70th minute, they had another 2-3 opportunities and Fabi was there. And I was very, very happy for Fabi. I'll agree with you. He didn't have much to do, but when he was called upon, he was absolutely fantastic, and he showed that he's
Ledger. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you, George. There we go. Heath
So,
Ledger. Mix.
Gino's there.
When you got a player like Gaguli, he's one of these players where he doesn't need to be involved in the game too much. He can go 5-10 minutes without touching a ball, but his movement alone causes problems. Pace kills, and he's got that in abundance. And as we saw with the winner, that is just it's an incredible goal from start to finish. If you look at the way that we scored the goal from winning the ball back in our own box, some will claim that it should have been a penalty or could have been a penalty. I didn't see anything wrong with that, in all fairness. I think Ilya was chasing a lost cause, and Shehu won the ball. And Shehu went again for the ball, and he got the ball first, and the man went over. And then the way that we broke. And Guggles' run, the timing of the run, the finish, one-touch finish, it practically sums up everything I've said about the guy for the past few months. We played Bayek, and we beat them 2-1, and he scored a cracking goal from outside the box. But then afterwards, he missed a header from 5 yards out, and people gave him a lot of stick. And my response to that was, he's getting in the right positions. He's making the runs. He's finding pockets of space. He's getting into goal-scoring positions, but he's not putting them away. Now, if he wasn't getting in those positions, I would be very concerned. I'd be very frustrated. But you could tell his game has changed. He's adapted to his situation, adapted to the style of the team. And he's probably realized that, there's going to be matches where he's not going to get a sniff. And he's only going to get half a chance. And he's going to have to make it count. And today is the perfect example. He had one opportunity. That ball, on another day, might have gone into Gertides, it might have gone wide. But the finish, the precision, that's a great finish. That's a fantastic finish. And it's a very difficult finish as well. Now, I don't know if any of you have played football. I have, not at a fantastic level. When a ball is fizzed in like that, and you've had to arch your run anyway for a start, it's difficult. The finish was fantastic. The fact that he timed his run, and do you know what? Some players might have felt that they were offside and have just shanked at it, and it would have gone anywhere. But again, that's a quality finish. I can't stress to you guys how good that finish was. Look, they're a dangerous team, and anything can happen in football, as we know. For all we know, they might get a decision in the first 5 minutes, and it changes the game completely. So again, we can't get complacent. And as for what Lennon said about Varda's a fantastic footballer. In the first 10, 11 games this season, he carried them. He absolutely carried them. But today, we got it spot on tactically first half, because, as I said, we isolated him on that left-hand side. And if you notice in the second half, he was given a free roll. So he was going in and out. It was left wing, right wing, through the middle. But come the last 15, 20 minutes, when they ran out of ideas, I saw him on the halfway line, like dropping deep as a central midfielder. And again, that's a testament to our players and the tactics, because what happened was we made a few changes, but we brought on Humber to be a third central midfielder with Gago up top. And whenever the ball went through the middle, we just closed in on it. Like, you know, when you see ants where they swarm towards Fain, that's what we were. Whenever Anossi broke through, especially down the middle, stopped them. Artimata was absolutely invisible. I didn't even know he was playing.
Πρώτη μου φαΐγγα μια μπικιλία κάτι, but anyhow.
Ναι, σε έναν έφερα σου φαΐν και έστρεφες, παρέταμε.
Ο Πέτρος, έφερε μου κούπα με ψαγί.
Petros sent me a picture, right? He was with his mates or his family or wherever he was, right? And he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and blah blah whatever." And I was like, "Mate," he goes, "Where are you?" I says, "I'm not in Cyprus, obviously." He goes, "When are you gonna come to Cyprus?" Anyway, we're going back and forth. I says, "Let me tell you something, yeah. You're not gonna do nothing to me. The only thing you can do is give me an infected guba like he did to Chris," and that pissed him right off.
Chris had fucking cornflakes, protein shakes.
No, I didn't.
Goodness, sandwich και είχαν την κουπάν και πειράξενον.
Αν ήταν έτσι, ήταν να στρέφα ούλον το φαΐν, όχι μόνο την κουπάν του Πέτρου που έπαιρνε να με ψαγέψει.
Ρε, με μου πειράζε τον Πέτρο μου, ρε. Άιστο, ρε, τον Πέτρο, ρε. Άιστο, Πέτρο μου. Θες να ξεκινήσουμε με το Φάμπι και να μας πεις πώς τον βαθμολογάς, πώς τον κρίνεις, πώς το είδες στο παιχνίδι.
That's too easy, man. Fabi's a 10 out of 10 for me. You can't go any lower for Fabi. Έχας iPhone μου, ρε. My God, μια ώρα να αυτό push το Λευκοσία σας στο traffic.
Ναι, ρε, επειδή είναι μεσόστευτης που είναι το μόνο κόμματα, τέλος πάντων. Δείξε ο βίντεο που μου έστες που ήσουν στον Ήψονα, στη Γερμοπό που ήσουν σήμερα που ήσουν το τσούρες μπροστά σου. Άτε ρε, παρέταμε που να σπίσεις 20.000 άτομα και ενόχλησες σε που κάνεις μια ώρα να πάει λεμεσό. The Omonoia games and then, you know, just watch maybe highlights from the internet or whatever.
Right.
I generally don't.
I'll tell you what, listen. Let me just do Stell's anal section then, yeah, where I get all anal about, you know, not that it's like Brazzers where I'm doing anal. It's not gonna talk about that, right? This is Loizo at his least of confident, right? And what you see there, right? This is against Anthony Goz back in November. Can you see him at the bottom of the screen? Yeah, in the middle, actually. He's in the middle. Now, he's not busting a gut to get in the box. He's not, I wouldn't say he's not interested, but maybe he was told not to make these runs. I don't know. Right now, he's in this phase of play, he's right at the bottom of the screen when he's playing right wing. Shehu is further up. You know, look at where he is now. Dele Bugado, man, he's not in the box. He's nowhere near. So this is what I'm saying about the lack of confidence in the lad and how, and this is against ANTROPI when we lost 1-0. You can't see him right now, but he's at the top of the screen on the touchline there. He's at the top of the screen. You know where the score line is? He's underneath. Yeah. He's actually on the touchline. Further ahead of him is Jan, Mix, Zaharil, and Shepa. So again, these are different passages of play where he's nowhere near the penalty box. You know, and again, this could be because of the team instructions. I don't know. But even still, when the ball breaks out of the box, where is he? He's not even in the picture there. Do you know what I mean? Look at this one. Yeah. Again, he's not even making a burst in the box. The ball's played into the box. Shepa and Iai in the box. But Loizo is on the far right-hand side. He's near Vada. Yeah. Vale, this goes back to confidence and team instructions. You know? These are little things that have changed in his game. This is another incident. This is the one that gets me, right? In this one, he's, you know where it says Angora Bank? He's at the top of the screen there. Yeah, Foddy's got the ball, and you know when Foddy gets the ball back to goal, twists, turn a pace, boom, he's gone. Right? Look at this passage of play. Yeah, he's at the top of the screen. Iai is in front of Foddy. Look at this. Foddy's making a run. Iai's making a run. Shepherd's making a run. Where's Loizo? Where is he? Not there. Vale. So again, more passages of play. This one, Loizo was the one that actually played the ball forward first. He was the one that actually played the ball on the edge of the box to Shepherd. But he's not making any runs in the box. He's just, and this is what I'm saying about.
Sat down and found those clips just to make that point for Loizo.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
man, bravo.
Because this is important in terms of the way that we've been playing and the way that we're now playing.
Είναι ζήσα σε γήπεδα στην πρώτη σου μάχια. Εκεί με μιας γεννήθηκε παντοτινή λατρεία. Κι άρχισε τότε να χτυπά τριφύλια την καρδιά και τραγουδάω. Έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, για σε τρελαίνομαι. Έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, για σε τρελαίνομαι. Έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, για σε τρελαίνομαι. Έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, έλα σωρές, για σε τρελαίνομαι.
Edo, well, I made that video, and every time I look back on it, my hairs stand on end, and get goosebumps, and I'm trying to keep it all in at the moment, honestly. Fucking hell, Jesus, because it's been a remarkable journey, not just on the pitch, off the pitch, this podcast. And you know what? The times I've been to Cyprus, yeah, I've had a few people coming up to me saying, oh, the podcast is great. But when I came out to Cyprus, Roy, you know, Chris, you know, we were waiting before the game, and people just coming up to us, just talking to us, taking photographs. And I've always said that if it weren't for these people, everyone watching, we wouldn't be doing this. You know, everyone that has supported us has brought us to where we are right now, and they're going to take us further. And sometimes words just can't describe how you feel. You know, you just want to take your emotions and bottle it up. And yeah, I don't know what else I can say, man. I don't know what else I can say, but yeah, fucking, I'm just getting all teary-eyed, a lump in my throat. I'm fucking struggling here. But Chris, Roy, fuck me, Jesus Christ. Welcome, boys. Hello.
Gala, bro.
I actually can't. I'm struggling. I'm fucking struggling, man. Fucking struggling.
I think I'm still in a phase that in a disbelief phase. Like I still feel like it didn't happen, even though it did. Like τόσο μπελαμένος είμαι από την Τετάρτη, but oh good, man. I'm happy. I'm happy. What a way to end the season. Relaxed. Finally, man. Finally, I'm happy. I'm gonna start talking. Stop, because I'm gonna start crying. So I'm gonna start crying a bit. What about you, Roy?
Καλημέρα πρώτα απ' όλα, καλημέρα Στeph, καλημέρα Chris μου, καλημέρα σε όλους που μας θωρούν, αν μας θωρούσουν κόσμος, δεν ξέρω. Ήταν να τους πω ότι the story I was going to put bed and breakfast and no choftes, you know, early in the morning of a Saturday, you know. It's long overdue. We had a lot of messages asking when we were going to do the pod for the final. The truth is we were going to try and do it with Stel on Thursday, but we didn't have time. Then obviously he still had to fly back to London, and yesterday was difficult, so we're doing it early this morning. Hopefully people are gonna want to jump on, gonna want to watch the show. As far as the game, even Agoma Ostora is like Chris said and Stel said, I don't know if there was any other way for the final to get more emotional, in the sense that it went down to penalties the way it did with the Shehu being sent off like in the 4th minute. But being with Stella as well for me was an amazing experience, you know, because we've been doing the pod for a year and a half, and yes, it was the 3rd time we've been together, etc. Allah, just the whole experience, you know, the pre-game, going with Petros and other friends, you know, having our burgers, our beers, then going to the game, mixing with all the fans, you know. I, even a year and a half later, can't, you know, come to terms that, you know, there's so many people showing the support, showing the love, you know. For me, it's even up till now, it's as if we're having a video call between 3 friends and talking about Omonoia. I cannot understand how big this pod is, and the love and support is just it's humbling. It's you know, we feel awkward with Stel. It was like at some point Stel was like, man, I don't know what to tell these people. I just feel uncomfortable. I don't know how to give back the love, and without, you know, seeming like we're big-headed or anything. You don't know. You're just humbled, you know, by all the love and support. And then watching the game and the way it ended, the emotions were so strong, so powerful. I cannot remember when was the last time I ever felt so powerful emotions, you know, because, okay, last year we won the league, but we couldn't be στο γήπεδο. Και τώρα ήταν ούλον το build-up, η φάση, το πώς εξελίχθηκε, το 0-0, η παράταση, τα πέναρτι, οι χαμένες ευκαιρίες και μες στα πέναρτι. Χάνα πέναρτι, χάναμε εμείς, χάσαμε το εμείς.
Bruno is coming too. God damn it. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Anyway, listen, we're here to talk about Bruno Felipe. I like to call him the Prince of Sao Paulo, or Brunaldinho, or Joga Brunito. There you go. I think that's a new one. We're very excited about this one.
You can forget about Joga Bonito, mate.
Oh, come on.
I don't mean to put a downer on it, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, like I say, experience, 30-year-old, played with top players who would have gained a lot of stuff off them. Playing with the type of player like Virgil van Dijk, you must learn loads off someone like that. We've seen it with the players that he's played with, how they've grown. You know, Matip, the young kid who come in at the end of the season, and obviously the Trent Alexander and Robertson benefit from it because they can go so high, knowing that they've got Virgil van Dijk there. So, but you know, it's a good positive. Like I say, he's experienced. He will help the back line, whichever way they want to play, and yeah, it should be good. And we'll probably see a couple more. Like, how many players have you lost? You said you've lost a few this year, so you could probably see in some more British players coming in, because you know, us coaches, we're you know, a creature of habit. Like you just said, we like people, the favourites, who people we can trust, who we've played with before, who we know we can do a job that I want them to do. So you're probably going to see other players coming in that he's coached before.
Who do you think the main centre-back duo will be? Nemanja and Lang? Yeah, I'll go with that. Although, let's get it right, Eustace did very, very well under Lennon, especially the back end of this season. He was phenomenal in the cup final. So I wouldn't rule him out completely as a first-choice centre-back. You never know. We might play 3 at the back in Europe. So we might need him. So listen, I'm sure Lennon knows the players that he wants. And he knows the system that he wants to play. My concerns outweigh my enthusiasm. And this isn't a knock on the player's ability. I don't have any qualms about his ability. I don't think he's a bad player. I think on his day, he can rip defenders to shreds. But the problem is, when is his day? When was the last time he had his day? Let's get it right. This guy has had 13 hamstring injuries. And I know people are going to say, like, Denlera here, we can't judge anyone until we see them play and blah, 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 blah. Catalava, I agree. Not a single person knew about Ralphman. Philip, I know this player. I live in England. Yeah. So, look, on his day, he can rip defenders to shreds. But when you've got a winger that's had 13 hamstring injuries in his career, and at 25 years old, has he played over? I think he's played over 100 games, but 4 for Reading last season. I'm very worried about this. And it's a 3-year deal as well. It's for 3 years. So look, I'm not assuming he's on huge wages. I'm not saying he's on Botiak money. I'm not saying he's on Zabala money. I can't. Listen, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. But look, I'm on the fence, Tora. It's a common phrase that we use when you're bastoframo, you're not on one side of the Avli or the other side. It's a message of many many. You haven't made your decision yet. Look, the negatives outweigh the positives, and that's normal. And as football fans, we want to see household names that we recognize joining our club. Now, obviously, Neil Lennon knows this player because he coached him at Hibs. And from what I understand, when he was at Hibernian, or for what I remember, he was a very good player. Okay, it didn't work out at Glasgow Rangers. And the thing is, when you go online, just hear me out on this one, right? When you guys go online and you see comments from Glasgow Rangers fans about this player, they're not going to say anything positive about him. Okay, they didn't rate him. He didn't play many games for him. He didn't do a job for him. That's one of the reasons why they're going to shit on him. But the other reason why is because he's joined Neil Lennon. And as you guys are probably aware, Neil Lennon is one of the most hated men in Glasgow. Okay? Glasgow Rangers fans hate him. In fact, a lot of Celtic fans hate him. This goes back to what I've been telling you and Chris in our WhatsApp group. The marketing, it's poor. It's really poor. Don't get me wrong, Buffo and Arias and Rostosini, even Aboel to some extent, they're doing it very well. But our club, there isn't enough being done to tell people that are Omonoia fans throughout the world that this club, we're doing stuff. We're doing things. Like we've got such a pool, we've got such a big fan base throughout the world. We've seen it on this podcast. People from Canada, people from America, people from Australia tuning in. And this is one of the reasons why we do it in English as well. Because all right, my Greek isn't great, but there are people abroad whose Greek is practically non-existent because either they haven't learned it or for whatever reason. And it's just like, well, this podcast gives them that ability to know about Omonoia and find out what's going on. But again, it just goes back to what I said before. Like there isn't that awareness, and that's why there is a lack of interest in it. Practically, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I told you this. I took my daughter to Greek school a few weeks ago, and this one guy came up to me and goes, "I'll watch your podcast, right? It's brilliant." I'm like, okay, that's one person. I don't know how many other people in the UK watch it, but people would just say, "Oh, I follow Omonoia because my uncle or my dad or my cousin or whatever," but there isn't that genuine interest. It's like what I said about the casual fans. I know what you're going to say. I know you're going to say we want them to come in. We want them to. I get it. But worst comes to worst, yeah, we get someone on deadline day. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the deals are going to be done within the next 2 weeks, within 2 weeks, not in 2 weeks, within the 2 weeks. Something might be announced tomorrow, the day after. We don't know, okay? If we won yesterday against Hapoel, there'd be people saying, oh, we're ready to go. We're ready to start. We're ready to start the season. But I'm getting people messaging me saying, oh, we need this, we need that. We know we need this and we need that. But again, I'm pretty sure the people that are making the decisions and the manager and the coaching staff know this already. And I'm pretty sure that they're looking at players. So again, man, like we just need to be bloody patient. Yes, again, I repeat myself, it's frustrating when you see other clubs making their signings. But what's to say that these clubs haven't been looking at these players for a long time? It wasn't built for for live streaming matches. It was terrible, wasn't it? Fucking hell. But we won the game 2-1, and I was lucky enough to watch both goals live. I did. I watched the first 40 seconds, I fucked off, and then I came back, and then we got a corner, and we scored from it. We scored from a corner. Bruno beat the first man. There you go. And Nemanja got his goal. Lovely header. Excuse me. I've been drinking this this Sprite. I don't know what it's like in... Well, I do know what it's like in Cyprus, but this no sugar Sprite gives me the fucking burps, man. Unfortunately, it's going to come out this way, not that way. But, yeah, and then I kind of watched a little bit of the second half, loads of substitutions, as you'd expect. And Guggle's goal was lovely. And shout out to Asimeno, man. We saw in the last game that he's got a lovely range of passing, and his balls over the top seem to cause a lot of problems. And Guggle got a good header on it. So, yeah, I'm pleased for the lad. I'm really pleased for the lad. And, you know, it seems that we came away with no injuries, a lot of minutes played, a lot of youngsters played again, which, again, is positive. So, in all fairness, yeah, I just about watched it, Mario. That just shows you Math Caceroz, man. I mean, you wear glasses, you couldn't see. Well, maybe you need binoculars. You know, I don't fucking know. But I just about caught those. Listen, I don't know what to say about this game that means anything. You know, you can't judge a team based on a pre-season tournament or a pre-season campaign, should I say. A lot of people are very excited. Mario is here. He's very excited. Another one, who's my daddy? I don't know. Can you help me find him? I'm joking. My dad's around the corner. Let's go, Giriago. Okay, let's go. Okay, there's a huge signing. The guy is a beast. Okay, listen. We're going to get a 550K. Is that like a club record fee? I don't know. Well, look, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. A couple of weeks ago, I was asked my thoughts on this player. And I said, you know, he's got a really bad track record. He's upset a lot of people. He's done a lot of stupidness. Oh, hang about. Royce here. Oh! Hello?
Hello.
I cannot see your face.
Why? Wait up. Hold up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Turn the camera off. You look hideous. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you know what, Corbett? I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm using the iPad, yeah, because I've got a problem with my laptop. So I don't know if you guys can hear me. So if you can hear me, just put something on the screen that you can hear me. Anyone? Someone? Bundo. What do you mean, Bundo? I'm waiting for someone to tell me if you can hear me. As I said, I'm fucking about here with this bloody iPad. I haven't got my laptop or my MacBook. It's fucking about. Can you hear me? Or am I speaking to myself? Miyahara, thank you, Jesus. Alhamdulillah. All right, loads of comments already. So what I'm going to do, Gobelia, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to say something. Right, I've put the link right here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your nunna, all that kind of shit. As you can see, I'm fiddling about because, again, I'm on the fucking iPad. It's a fucking mess, man. It's a fucking mess, honestly. Before people start jumping on, the first thing I will say, right, is shout out to the fucking owner, shout out to Grigori, right? And as much as they've pissed me off in recent weeks, I've got to give love to them because they haven't bent over and let some fucking footballer, no disrespect to any other footballer, a mercenary, bully them around, right? That's the main thing I will say to start off with. Yeah, shout out to them. Because there are a lot of footballers these days, don't get me wrong, most of them are cool guys. And they're professionals. They do their job. They take all the abuse from fans, whether it be on social media, in the cafeterias, whatever, right? They're in the streets, they take shit, but they work hard. And a lot of them, I believe, earn their money, right? Then you have other footballers who have got so much ability, but they're just fucking dickheads, right? And yesterday, I'm not going to lie to you, I was excited about seeing this footballer. He's a fantastic footballer. We've been saying it for God knows how long. He's a fucking fantastic footballer. He would have smashed the granny out of this fucking league, I'm telling you. He'd have got 15, 20 goals, no problems, right? But, again, as I said before, do we want players like him? I said we need cunts in our team, but Jesus Christ, a player who negotiated with the club, yeah, let's not forget, he negotiated with the club verbally agreed everything. The club paid for him to come to Cyprus. They put him on his little Wizz Air or Ryanair, whichever fucking flight it was from wherever the fuck country he came from, right? They put him in a xenogogio. He was swimming, doing his little bitchy first thing in the fucking morning, yeah? Went to Ias Bullos, went to do his sign everything I assume was sorted, right? And you see all these stories coming out of Gergida, right? And I'm going to pause this for a second and talk about Gergida, right? Because they were the first outlet to come out with a story that there was a problem. But they said there was a problem with the terms. Well, sometimes journalists want to be the first to break things, but not the ones to come up with facts. And they didn't come up with facts, did they? Because the truth of the matter is, as the statement showed later on this evening, it was the player who was at fault. He didn't want to take a fucking medical.
Πιάσαμε πολλά negative attention που το πράγμα που έγινε. But I don't know if it was on our group or another group που έστειλα το μήνυμα. Λέω καλύτερα που έγινε τώρα, επειδή ήταν θέμα χρόνου να κάνει. Δηλαδή εμείς, we were hoping to turn a hoe into a housewife. This is what we were. Πια μια μπουτάνα και έκαμε νοικοκυρά. Και το πράγμα δεν θέλαμε εμείς. That's a clip for you. Αλλά overall ρε φίλε, και όπου με κόφτησε και όπου με κόφτε μου την αρχή είναι η ομάδα μας να είναι όσο πιο έτοιμη γίνεται για τους αγώνες που έρχονται. Και τώρα να το οδηγήσω στο να συζητήσουμε και για την κλήρωση που ήρθε. Η ομάδα μας χρειάζεται και τούτο δεν το λαλώ εγώ. Λαλεί το και ο προπονητής και ο Ανδρέας ο Δημητρίου. Λαλούμε το επίσημα ότι χρειάζεται η Ομόνοια να ενισχυθεί. Έτσι. Και στις 18 μήνα έτυχε σου μια κλήρωση η οποία δύσκολη ρε φίλε. Στα δικά μου μάθηκα ίσως να είναι και πιο δύσκολη που εκείνες που μπορούσαν να μας τύχουν. Δεν λέω ότι πάμε ας πούμε χωρίς καμιά πιθανότητα πρόκρισης. Όμως το που λέω είναι ότι θα ένιωθα εγώ πιο comfortable ιδανικά αν είχαμε όλους τους παίκτες τσάμε, να είχαμε τις επιλογές μας, να είχαμε την ποιότητα μας, να είχαμε την εμπειρία που φέρνουν τούτοι παίκτες. Because starting 11, we can find 11 players to start a game and be competitive. But have that extra oomph, that extra push that you need as an underdog going into these European games, especially when you know ότι είσαι το underdog και κυνηγάς εσύ τις πιθανότητες σου να μπεις μέσα στο Europa που σημαίνει για σένα κάποια εκατομμύρια παραπάνω.
Those of you who own a car or any vehicle that requires petrol or fuel, you'll know that sometimes you're driving and you see the little Velona and it's on the quarter mark and you're thinking, I'll be all right. Maybe one more day. You go home, you park your car. Next morning, Velona is still on the quarter mark. You get in the car, you drive to work or you drive to school or college or wherever you go to the Bediptero to get your tiara or whatever. It slowly moves down. And it moves down and it moves down. Next thing you know, it's in the red. That little bit where you know that there's a little bit of fuel left. You might have about 30 miles or 30 kilometers left in the tank. That's where we are right now. That is exactly where this football club is right now, and the season hasn't even started. Now I know what you're going to say. Where's the intro? Well, Edo, welcome to another edition of the No Choftes podcast. I'm going to tell you this for now, right? A couple of weeks ago, I said, friendly results don't matter. The results don't matter. The performance is important, obviously getting the fitness up. And don't get me wrong, I was under no illusions about today's opponent. Forget the fact that AEK almost finished 30 points behind Olympiacos in the Greek Super League last season. But this is a new AEK. It's a fantastic manager. And you could tell from the off that they're fitter, they're sharper, they're stronger, they're quicker. So I was under no illusions. I didn't think today was going to be a victory. I didn't think that they were going to take it easy on us, that they were going to treat it as a friendly game, because they clearly didn't. But the warning signs are there. as you can see from the headline. Friendly or not a friendly, this is a warning sign, Gobella. Now, this isn't me overreacting. I'm telling you the facts. Because I'm not going to turn around and shit on the players' performance today because we were beaten by a better team, a far better team. I'm not going to shit on the manager for playing an attack-minded system because I didn't expect him to stick 10 men behind the fucking ball in a friendly. I didn't expect him to do that and try to hit them on the counter-attack. But I expected a little bit more. I expected a little bit more from what I saw on that pitch today. A lot was wrong. A lot. And look, I'm not going to watch the press conference. Obviously, the game's just finished. So whatever I'm going to say now, you're going to see in the press conference. And I'm sure Lennon's going to be positive and he's going to talk about fitness. He's going to talk about system. He's going to give a 2-minute press conference telling you a few things here and there, right? Nothing, you're not going to really learn anything from this because, in all fairness, he probably sees it as just a training exercise, and that's fine. But the manner in which we were taken apart today, it's worrying. The manner in which we created hardly anything is worrying. Let's get it right. The goalkeeper had, what, 2 saves to make? And they were both in the first half, from what I remember anyway. So what's the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. The last pod, when I was talking about Zay, how he didn't join us, I said the owners, whoever is in charge of the transfers, tip your hat off to them. Well done. We weren't held down by this fucking mercenary. I gave them their flowers. I'm going to tell you this now. If they don't act fast, forget the season. Forget it. I'm telling you this straight. I want you guys, this is a reality check. This isn't still overreacting. This is a reality check. Because Annomizis, yeah, that Arnautosi ain't going to be better this season. Annomizis Buffo ain't going to be better. Ayak ain't going to be better. Abo ain't going to be better. Because I saw them yesterday, and you can talk about the opponents and how poor their opponents were because they did play against a pretty bang average team, right? But they took them apart. And I know it needed a worldie from Ephraim to break the deadlock, and that was a fantastic goal. Take nothing away from the cunt. It was a fantastic goal, right? But they took them apart. It was easy. It was like a training game for them. The way that they passed the ball, the speed on the counter-attack, the movement, the way that the 2 central midfielders dictated the tempo, the way that the central defenders held them off. It was brilliant. I didn't like watching it, but I tell you what, if I was a neutral, I'd say, fucking hell, they're a decent team. But then I look at us today. I didn't see overlapping fullbacks. That was one of my concerns. Another concern was the amount of work Mix and Bashiru had to do today. You know, God bless Bashiru, up and down that pitch, trying to win everything. Tenacious, energetic. But he can't do that for fucking 9 months. If you lot or anyone else expects Bash to do this week in, week out, it ain't going to fucking happen. Because he's going to play against midfielders that are going to be just as tenacious, just as strong, just as quick, just as competitive. I saw Barker on the ball today, trying to make runs, dropping too deep for my liking. And I know people go criticize him, he didn't do enough. But, well, you know, you can't expect the winger to do everything. Can't expect him to do everything. You need more. You need more from the players ahead of him, players behind him. I didn't see Jan getting forward. Well, I did a few times. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to help a winger do his job. I don't know what was going on our right-hand side. Bruno was anonymous first half. Well, he was anonymous most of the game, in all fairness. There was one run in the second half where he beat a couple of players and took a shot. All right. But is that what we've brought in? Is this what we've got? Now, I'm not shitting on him. Don't get me wrong. Again, can't judge him off one game. But there was a lot wrong. Gago didn't do enough, you know. And listen, he knows I love him to bits. I've never had a bad word to say about him. He didn't do enough today. Yeah, he was chasing lost causes again. But like I keep saying about the guy, you cannot expect him just to run in the channels, chase loose balls, chase down the goalkeeper, because he did that a couple of times today. Supply him. Supply him. But the supply wasn't there. Foddy was okay. There was one moment where I almost felt like throwing the fucking remote control at the television where he's broken forward and Barker's in acres of space, but he decides to shoot. Again, it's a pre-season game. It's a pre-season. I understand. Why am I getting angry? Why am I getting angry? I shouldn't be getting angry, but I'm telling you this. Again, read out the bottom. This is a wake-up call. There are so many players available out there right now. And the problem with this club, do you know what? It's not just a problem with this club. It's a problem with many clubs in Europe, especially like at this kind of level in Bulgaria and Hungary, whatever. These clubs want to buy a player or bring in a player on maybe 150, 200K a year, but they want a Messi. They want a Messi. They want a Ronaldo. You ain't going to get those players. So like I said the other day, I gave the owners their flowers. I gave Baba Stavro and Grigori and whoever's making decision their flowers. And I said, congratulations, you're willing to put your hands in your pocket to bring in a player at a certain level. What kind of player are you looking for now? So, well, this one came left field again. We know that our transfer activity has been very quiet. Not the way that we wanted it to be. We wanted all the deals to be done by now, before Poland, to be honest. But we've got another deal over the line. I'm guessing we have, because nothing's been officially announced. You know, I know it's been on the Instagram, but we saw what happened last time. Has he signed the contract? Well, his name is Roman Bejus. Not Roman Jesus. Jesus was killed by the Romans. Bejus. This is the part where the self-destruct button comes in there. This is the part. This club right now, I said it last week, the warning light is on. Let me tell you guys something. We were taken over by a guy who is a businessman. I highly doubt his idea was to keep Omonoia for decades. Highly doubt it. So let's not pretend he came in to keep this club for as long as he possibly could and guide us to numerous titles, numerous European campaigns. That's not his plan. His plan was to come in, ease the debt, make the club sustainable or self-sustainable, and then sell it off for a big profit. That's how it works. And anyone at the club watching now that's saying, oh, that's not true, bullshit. It's fucking true. Yeah? It's utterly fucking true. And I don't want to hear none of this, oh, well, you're just overreacting because of the summer that we've had and we're not bringing in players. Oh, believe me, if I was to do that. But yeah, Baba Stavro has come in. He's done a great job when you want to talk about easing the debt, making us, as I said, a financially viable commodity. But I don't see no respect. We respect him. Of course we do. We respect everything that he's done for us. But does he respect us? Does Grigori, his number 2, respect us? I don't think he does. We win the cup. Wonderful. I'm not going to talk about the Brodathlima. That's done and dusted. I want to talk about recent history now, yeah? We won the cup. What's been done? The odd post here and there, the odd video here and there. No one's really celebrating the cup, are they? No one's really celebrating it. It's almost as if it didn't happen. Really? I mean, I'll give you an example. Let's do some research while we're here. Yeah? Let's do some research. This Omonoia is on Omonioia's LinkedIn page. This is what they put when we won the cup 2 months ago. This. I liked it. 95 other people liked it. Has anything else been put since then? Nothing about the cup. Nothing at all. Again, big poster. Yay, won the cup. Lovely. Brilliant. That's it. This is how much their social media team or their marketing team values this club's success. This is how much the man at the top values his club's success. This is how much Grigori values this club's success. Yeah? The people that make the decisions. And don't tell me, oh, Grigori doesn't make decisions. Well, do you not know which company he owns and how they're involved with the club? Do your research. Again, I'll let that down to you. But we'll keep scrolling. There's a few other posts here and there, some community work here and there. Bomba, lovely, beautiful. We're doing stuff for the community. Here's another video. Oh, UEFA Youth League, lovely. You know, the UEFA Youth League, which we qualified for because other people down at the bottom be working their fucking bollocks off for years to get the youth level up. But, you know, certain other people are going to get credit for that. Anyway, 74 years, 98 titles. Shall we give them credit as well for that? You know, why not? You know, because certain people like to get in front of the camera when things are going well, but when things ain't going well, they don't say nothing. They send out the communications guy and throw him under the fucking bus to answer every fucking question. Poor bloke. I feel sorry for him. Well, he's only doing his job. Yeah, he's doing his job, but how much? Pay him double for what he's doing. Fuck me. Anyway. Oh, look, Total Green, this guy, the guy from camping, where he's everywhere. Whenever there's some kind of event on with Omonoia, get the camping guy on. The mechanic, get him on. Yes, get him on. Lovely. Oh, look. Oh, this one. Oh, this was beautiful. Bragging about how many fans we've got and the percentage of fans and this and that. And yet you treat the fans like dickheads. But I'm going to get onto that in a moment. Let's keep going. We've qualified for Europe. We've done this, we've done that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, no problem. Lovely stuff. Youth stuff, lovely. And then 3 weeks ago, we're advertising this. And this is when it starts to get techie. Yeah? This is when it starts to get techie. Let me show you. We win the under-14 title. Beautiful. They put that there. Wonderful. Fantastic achievement. Again, from the people at the bottom that have been working their bollocks off. And then, you can watch the friendly games. You can watch the friendly games on OFC TV, and you could pay €3-5 a month to watch them. And the Yanina game, we only watched like 10 minutes of it because the internet fucked, but had great. That's Roy's fault. And then this one the other day. This video is the one that set me off. A 12-minute video for a new sponsor. Is this a virtual tour of their fucking Grafio? I watched like 30 seconds. I'm like, right, I haven't even watched the whole thing. Understand this. I'm going to take you back to the Instagram now, yeah? Do you know what? I'm about to fly off. Honestly, fly off. Yeah, where is it? This was when we announced the signing. Yeah, we announced the signing. This is when they took the piss out of us. Metagrafes. They took the piss out of us. And they did a video on Roman Bezos, the introduction. Well done. Congratulations. We signed Roman Bezos. Lovely. Here you go. Video montage, blah, blah, blah. Lovely. So we get a 12-minute video of a new sponsor and a 1-minute video of a new signing. So what do they do? Welcome. Welcome. Lovely. Safe. And then when he does eventually sign, here we go. How long is this? 5 seconds? Yeah, like a video that or a photograph that you've been put in and stick your thumbs up. Thumbs up for Bezos. That's it. 1 minute and 20 seconds for this guy. These lot get a fucking 12-minute video for a new sponsor. Not just that, they get fucking photographs. Look at this. Like it's some kind of, I don't know. Do you know what? If this was like a Spotify deal or Apple or some major company, I think, yeah, brag about it. But you, man, are signing up with these companies and making us look like dickheads. Because you ain't announcing players like that, and then you announce some pasta company as well. This is what I'm talking. This is the priority, yeah? Sponsors. This is the priority, boys and girls. Sponsors. That's all that matters to this club now. Success don't matter. What they're expecting is for Neil Lennon or Henning Berg before him to work on shoestrings. Yeah, it's like when you see these homeless people in the streets, especially in London. They walk around, they're looking for on the floor, not for food, but for cigarettes, cigarette butts, so they can have a smoke. This is us. They're disrespecting us. Can you imagine? We sign a player who's supposed to be really good, 1 minute, 20 seconds. And these men get 12 minutes. This club is no longer a football club. Our rivals will say it. They take the piss out of us and they joke about it. Ederia. Yeah, we're an Ederia. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to flip it. We're not an Ederia. We're a fucking meme club. That's what we are. All those memes, helicopter, yeah, forget that. It's that's us. We're the meme club. When we play Abuel, I fully expect them to have a banner, right, with the Charlie says Omimia. Omimia, that is what we are now. Omimia. Because sponsorship deals are more important than bringing in signings to push us to the next level. And I know what people are going to say, but we need sponsors to lower the debt. Yes, I do. I do understand it. I get it. I fully get it. I've got no problem with it. But don't ram it down our face. Yeah? 12-minute virtual tour on the fucking Grafio interviewing about this. I don't give a fuck. We don't give a shit. These men pay their money to sponsor. They got the name on the shirt. Cool. That should be it. Do a 12-minute video on the player that we've just brought in. Do a 12-minute video talk about him and his life and what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. Get more visibility on that. Hey, that might help with your profile, that you're doing something. Yeah? But no, you don't think outside the box. Isn't it funny how it took me, Roy, and Chris to have a moan on this fucking podcast about your marketing for you lot to do something about it? 3 days after we do a pod, all of a sudden you do these different things, interviewing that player, play games with them. Yeah. I'm livid with this club now. Absolutely livid. You lot take us for dickheads. You take us for dickheads. You ain't pissing on our faces. You're coming in our faces. That's what you're doing. You're jizzing all over us. The fans that buy the season tickets, the fan cards, the fucking privilege cards, sorry. They go to Green Boutique, they buy this, they buy the umbrella, the new umbrella. Oh, there's an umbrella now. It don't fucking rain in Cyprus, but let's get an umbrella. There's no respect from them. There's no respect whatsoever. They don't respect you. They don't respect me. They don't respect no one. They don't respect the players. Ask Dura. He was on our show. Ask Shepa what happened with his contract. Oh, they didn't even speak to him. Didn't even say to him, thank you. That's it. Didn't want to entertain it. How many more players have they done this to? Huh? This is what happens when you have people that don't understand football running a club. And you man are taking us for dickheads. Yeah? For dickheads. Goes back to respect. They do not respect us. They don't respect you. They don't respect the fans. They don't respect no one. They don't respect no one. So long as they get their sponsorship deals and lower that debt and put some money in their own pockets, that's all that matters. Let me tell you lot something. Yeah? You can dress it up as trying to lower the debt as much as possible. But as I said at the beginning, he's a businessman. The more sponsors and partners you have, the bigger the portfolio is, which expands the value of the club. This is what he's doing. This is what... Don't take it from me. Let me show you. Let me show you. Because, again, in Cyprus, maybe this is something that you guys don't really look into, or maybe people do look into it, but they don't really want to say something because it's ANTROPI. And that's another thing before I bring up. Fuck ANTROPI. That's the new term now. It ain't Edo. From now on, as soon as that thing goes live and the intro ends, fuck ANTROPI. I don't care anymore. I told you. Self-destruct, jihad, I don't give a fuck.
επειδή δεν γνώμη μου μπορεί, αλλά δεν καταλάβω που μάπανε εγώ.
Φίλε, θέλω να μιλήσεις εσύ που έπιες και γήπεδο.
Φίλε, σου πολλά που ευρέασαν από γήπεδο.
Να σου πω, προσπαθώ πάρα πολλά να παραμείνω ψυχρεμός, να προσπαθήσω να δικαιολογήσω ίσως σε μερικές περιπτώσεις και τα δικαιολόγητα, επειδή εντάξει ρε φίλε, είπαμε, το να είσαι ομονιάτης και πιστός στην ομάδα σου δεν σημαίνει ότι είναι υπεράνω είτε κριτικής είτε...
What's he done to his mic? Ρε Μάριο, μίλα!
Ακούτε με ρε.
Ναι ρε.
Μίλα. You muted yourself.
Μα μπαίνει μόνο του mute ρε.
Είχαμε το ίντερνετ με ορρόι και τώρα έχουμε το
Λοιπόν, μαλάκες, εχτες έκανα ενίσχυση του ίντερνετ μου και πιάσα και που τα μπλουμ που με λαλούσε ο Ιόρκος και άλλη φορά και κάνα χρόνο που βρεθήκαμε και πιάσα τα boosters παντού για το σπίτι, αυξήσα το σπίτι μου, οπότε σκάστε ούλοι που γυρώνα.
Ρε, βαστάς τόσα λεφτά, αγοράζεις τη σίτα να θέλεις εσύ, τα booster τι να θέλεις.
What was that blue thing you just said? The
Bloom. Don't you remember last year when you came to
the only
Cyprus?
blue thing I'm thinking about now is Viagra because you need to fucking harden up your internet, man.
Εν μπορώ, θέλω να τους πιάσω ούλους και ζω μια αγκαγιά και αφιλείς σήμερα, ρε φίλε. I feel so proud. They made us proud, ρε φίλε. They made us proud.
Whenever I come to Cyprus, I enjoy the weather, I enjoy the culture, the language, the people, everything. And every time I get on that plane to come back to the UK, I keep saying to myself, why don't I live in this country? Why don't I live in this beautiful island? It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. After tonight's performance, I think to myself, imagine what I would be saying if I was a pro footballer living in Cyprus, earning up to 400, 300,000 a year. Because let me tell you something. Last week against Ghent, we saw lions. Yeah, hungry lions. Lions that perhaps haven't been fed for months. Yeah, fighting for their lives. Any bit of fresh meat, they're going for it. Today, we saw a different type of feline. We saw a bunch of pussies. And I'm going to say it because I think it's about time people were told the truth, were told a bit about themselves. Because it's all well and good bigging up these guys when they get a great performance in Europe. It's all well and good giving them their flowers when they deserve it. But when they deserve to have shit thrown at them, they're going to fucking get it. They're going to get it from this podcast. I'll tell you this for now.
Karim, παρακολούθησα πολλά παιχνίδια τους. Ο Karim είναι ο παίχτης που έναν τζάμε πάντα που το θέλεις, killer, μυρίζεται το. Δεν είναι ο παίχτης που να σου δημιουργήσει ιδιαίτερα φάσεις. Είναι ο παίχτης που πάντα τζάμε, εννιάριν κλασσικό, έχει πολλά καλά τελειώματα, ψυχρέμος. Πάρα πολύ καλό εννιάρι. Δηλαδή θεωρώ ότι έχει που το ΜΑΤ να έχουμε καλό εννιάρι. Guys, ενοχλήσουμε.
Sorry there, but you know, I love your comments. I love everything that you say there, Rioni, right? But Steph, I know, is stolen the show just by being topless. Like, first it was his dad.
Ρε, βάλε να κάνουν donations, να δείξει και το από κάτω.
Ναι. Έφυγε.
Πού είναι τούτος, ρε.
Δεν ξέρω.
Είναι να ξυντυχεί.
I don't even know what happened.
Δεν να ξυντυχείς.
Ρε, βάλε donations να δείξει και το από κάτω.
You know, for a second, I thought it was like YouTube, like pulling us off. I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Nah.
Να σου πω για ο Μανσίνη.
Yeah, come on. I'm not putting any comments up.
Enough with the roasting. Let's get to the point.
Έχεις εικόνα για τον Μανσίνη. Παρακολουθήσες τον καθόλου.
I've heard he's a very good player. I haven't seen much of him, but I've heard he's a very good player.
Εσύ βασικός μου.
Είδα και πέρσι τον Άρη. Φέτος είδα όλα τα ευρωπαϊκά του και είδα και το ένα παιχνίδι που έπαιξα στο πρωτάθλημα. Είναι εξαιρετικός παίχτης. Εμένα έκανε μου εντύπωση μαζί με τον... Είχε έναν άλλον παίχτη Πάλμας ο Άρης. Ήταν τα δυο τα ρε, δεν θα σας πω τίποτε.
Γελά! Ξέρω γιατί γελά.
Κλείσεις την κάμερα ρε Στεφάνε.
Άντε το να πάω.
Και φορείς μια φανέλα. Νιώθεις σαν στο σπίτι του ο Στεφάν.
Oh my God. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. What the fuck is going on? Mario! I'm crying, man. Fuck. Doesn't matter how good a player is. If the players around them aren't playing to a certain standard, then it doesn't matter. Now, if Gary Hooper came to Cyprus after scoring 50 goals in 50 games in the A-League, or 40 goals in 40 games in the Indian League, people would be saying other things, wouldn't they? But they look at the statistics and they think, oh, 4 goals here, 8 goals there. Oh, he's okay. But the fact remains, it depends on who he's got around him. Why has he not been scoring goals? Is it because he's been missing opportunities? Or has he not been given the opportunities by his teammates? Perhaps his teammates were shit. You never know. The ball's played over the top. And as you can see, there's one Ajax player in the middle and one on the flank. We've got 2 men on 1, which is the first mistake. I don't know why we got 2 men on 1 when you clearly got a man down at the flank. If that ball bounces, the man on the wing is going to get to it. But look at the guy closest to the Ajax forward, right? That's Yuste. Look at how, I don't even want to say that he's tried to win the ball. I mean, what is this? You're a central defender. Be physical. Try and win the ball. He doesn't do that. That's the first mistake he makes, right? Which obviously leads to the opportunity. They hit the bar. It then comes back out. They take the shot. And all right, now for me, when I first saw it, I thought that's hit his shin. But the more you see it, yeah, it has hit his hand. But again, is that really a penalty, Roy? Because for me, it looks like the ball comes off his shin and then hits his arm. His arm isn't in an unnatural position. It's not as if he's put his arm out. He's turned his body. He's not looking at the ball as well. It goes back to the Agridas game where these referees seem that they want any excuse to shaft us. It's like any excuse to shaft us. If this was a player wearing a yellow shirt or a blue shirt or a fucking red shirt, that's not a penalty. But because it's us, he's giving it. It's like he was desperate to give it. Makes me sick, man. What do you make of that penalty there, Roy, before we carry on?
The truth is, when I saw it, στο γήπεδο δεν κατάλαβα στη γλίωρη φάση τι έγινε. Ύστερα που είδα το replay, εντάξει, κοίτα, I'm a little bit confused, to be honest, with the penalties now. I mean, the distance was very, very, very close. That's what I think. There was obviously a handball there. Okay, now whether that was enough to be given, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm leaning towards it was a penalty. Under different circumstances, I would have said no because of the distance and the power of the shot. And like you said, he turned his body, but he did move his hand out, so it did hit his hand. And I'm trying to think if it was the other way around, I would have wanted a penalty. But
right, it's come off his shin and hit his
couldn't
hand.
see that. I didn't see the ball hit his shin.
I'm telling you, when I saw it first time, I thought it hit his shin and then hit his hand and went over. And the more I see it, I can't zoom in. Honestly, I can't zoom. I wish I could zoom in on. Don't zoom on me. Fucking hell. No, God, no. You don't want to do that. Jesus. The more I see it, it's Galipta. Hang about. Again, because we don't have that. We don't have the technology to do this. It's come off his shin and hit his hand. It's come off his shin and hit his hand. Or hit it on the side. I'm telling you, it's either come off his shin or a part of his leg. All right, his arm has been out, but it's the position in which he's had to turn his body. Look, he's had to do that. And for me, that's not a pen. That's not a pen. I don't care. That could have been avoided had he won the ball in the air the first time when the ball's gone up. Now, maybe someone's giving him a shout. The person next to him, I don't know whether it was Lang or whatever. Maybe he's giving him a shout to say, leave it. I don't know. But even still, you got to take advantage of that. You got to take management of that. And as a central defender, he's great on the ball, right? On the ball, he's brilliant with his feet. But in the air, Jesus Christ, man. Okay, I know he got the assist for the goal. And again, hats off to him. But at 36 years old, you got to know better, man. And they always say, never let the ball bounce. And he's let it bounce. So on to the next mistake. On to mistake number 2, which I don't think is debatable. This for me, this is unacceptable. It's indefensible. You have look. Olatunji is a quick player. We know this, right? Eustace should know this. Eustace already got 2-3 yards on him anyway. Again, the ball bounces. At this point, I'm thinking, put it in the stands. Mr. Gergides, get rid of it. When in doubt, get it out. But he lets it bounce. And even here, he could have played it back, but he panics because Olatunji's made up that ground. Again, indefensible. Indefensible. He's not strong enough. He's not quick enough, right? He can't run. I've seen Milk turn faster than him. Get the ball out. Either play it back or get it out. It doesn't matter if you get the ball out. It doesn't matter because by the time they get the ball back, we've got enough players back. That for me is indefensible. I'm sorry. But this is another one, another indefensible act. Look at where the referee is. Look to the left-hand side. I think that might have been Karim, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Karim. Right?
Yeah,
down at the bottom on the edge of the box, yeah? Right.
Yeah.
Look at where the referee is. He's looking at the ball, right? You've got the linesman at the top, or the assistant, whatever you want to call him, okay? So you're looking at the linesman, you're thinking the linesman is looking at dead straight across. He's either looking at the ball. How does VAR or the referee miss this? I mean, this is blatant. This is blatant. And the thing is, I can watch it over and over again. I can't zoom in, right? So what I want you to do, I think it's Ledes, right? Look at Ledes' right foot. If you can, again, I don't know if I can.
It's not Ledes. Ledes is number 7.
They go, no, okay, so who's the number 16? I don't know who it is. But look at his right foot. He's brought it out. He's tricked him, man. How is that not a penalty? Like, this is what I'm saying. How can you miss that from a VAR perspective as a referee? How can you miss this? He's stuck his foot. This is intentional, man. There's no coming together. There's no accident. He's tricked him. Look at his right foot. He stuck it out.
I don't know if it was intentional. I think it was. It looked more like
bruv. I'm telling you, this is European football at its very best. Yeah, keep looking at his right foot. He's not looking at the ball. He's looking at the man. Look, he sticks his foot. He knows exactly what he's doing. Exactly what he's doing. How these things go unpunishable is absolutely disgraceful. Honestly, it's blatant cheating. It's blatant corruption. This is what it is. It happened last week with us. It happened this week with us. This is what they're doing. And we need to wake up, man. Before you could say, it's a bit coincidental. It's a bit... This is blatant. And I want Baba Stavro to open his fucking mouth for once and say something. Because this is cheating. This is favoritism. It is cheating. I don't care what anyone says. That for me is a penalty. End of. So the moment that linesman got hit with the fucking bottle, it was over for us. Because after that, did you notice the decisions that are going against us? The free kicks we should have got? It's almost as if the referee let them clatter into our players, smash our players. And that was basically because of that fucking bottle. Yeah? However, thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. Thank you. However, that does not cover up the fact that tonight we made 3 mistakes that cost us. I'll say 2.5. I'll say 2.5 because Lang's handball, personally, he knew nothing. I believe he knew nothing about it. He jumped for the ball as he's landed on his feet. His arm he wasn't even outstretched. It's clipped his fingernail. And the moment their players started kicking off about it, he got that little thing in his ear. Let's go to the VAR. Oh, it's brushed his finger. It's a penalty. And the same thing happened tonight against Man United. So, look, you can blame Lang for other things today, but you can't blame him for that fucking penalty. I'm sorry. The first goal, Jesus Christ. It was Antwerp all over again. Do you remember Antwerp last season? Their first goal where the goalkeeper just pumped it long. And lo and behold, Adam Lang was underneath that. He misjudged the flight of the ball. misjudged it. All three of our central defenders misjudging the flight of the ball. No one taking, holding themselves accountable for it. There we go. Back of the net. Not even 2 minutes gone. Defensive shambles. The third goal, Jesus Christ. I mean, you could talk about Militic's lack of pace, but that was exactly what happened to Yuste against Ajax the other day. Same side of the pitch as well. Ball's gone over the top. He hasn't gone to head it out. He's let the ball drop against a player with that much pace. Killed him. Game done. So, you know, we shot ourselves in the foot defensively. But I'm going to rewind all the way to the beginning. Because let me tell you something. We have praised Neil Lennon for everything that he's done so far. We can't deny that he's been brilliant for us. But tonight, he got it completely wrong with that team selection. He got it wrong with the team selection. He got it wrong with the system. It was cowardice. He showed his fucking ass tonight. He shit himself tonight. And I don't know why. Did he think that maybe if we pressed high, they would kill us with their pace and their strength? Yeah, they probably would have done if we gave them the opportunity to play football. Because I didn't see any pressing in this game at all. I saw it in the first 30 seconds when we won a corner. But then after they scored, it's almost as if we just pulled the handbrake up, put it in neutral, and whatever happens, happens. It was cowardly. He played Barker and Bruno up top. We saw what happened against Agreda when they played in the same team. Listen, I'm trying not to react in a negative way. I'm trying not to be hypercritical. But right now, and I'm going to be honest with you lot, and you can say what you want in the comments because I'd like to know what you lot think. Bruno isn't good enough. He isn't good enough. He really, I don't know what it is about this guy. I really don't know what it is about him. There was that opportunity in the first half at 1-0. The ball's come towards him and he's just swung at it. I mean, I don't play golf. I've played like pitch and putt or crazy golf. I can't hit the fucking ball for shit, yeah, with that club. Rod's going to laugh. I can't hit a fucking golf ball, right? I swing at it, it's still there. Yeah? That's what he did. He took a swing at the ball and the ball hit his standing leg. It hit his standing leg.
Χωρίς να έχω εικόνα του αγώνα από εδώ και ο Απόλλωνας, δεν ξέρω αν έδωκε και παραπάνω ενέργεια ο Απόλλωνας στο δικό του παιχνίδι. Επειδή στο δικό μας δεν έδωσαμε. Με η Sheriff δεν έδωσαμε ενέργεια. Δηλαδή φαίνεται που ένας σιόν και μετά ότι έκαναμε εξοικονόμηση δυνάμεων για να αντιμετωπίσουμε τον Απόλλωνα.
Γιατί σήμερα μετά το 20 έδωκες ενέργεια. Δεν έδωκες τίποτε μετά το 20.
Φίλε, τούτο ήταν το παράλογο ότι λέμε τώρα στο αυτοκίνητο ότι ο Απόλλωνας δεν σταμάτησε σήμερα. Που θέμα φυσικής κατάστασης είπες το πιο πριν, Ρόι, είμαστε πολλά πίσω. Και το που είπαν λένε ότι κουράστηκε να θεωρείς παίχτες του να πέφτουν χαμείς να ζητούν πράγματα. Σήμερα έγινε σε πολλές φάσεις και δεν ξέρω. Φυσική κατάσταση ήταν πρόβλημα που είχαμε πέρσι. Πάλι εμφανίζεται φέτος, ασχέτως ότι κάναμε στην προετοιμασία το έναν το άλλο. Δεν ξέρω, αλλά είμαστε πολλά πίσω από το θέμα. Ενώ μας συγκρίνεις με ομάδες όπως τον Άρη που δεν σταματούσε ρε κουμπάρε. Δηλαδή, να έχουμε πρόβλημα. Και δεν ξέρω.
Η φυσική κατάσταση, εγώ θεωρώ ότι έχει να κάνει παραπάνω όχι με την αδυναμία να τρέχουν για 90 λεπτά, έχει να κάνει με την ένταση. Επειδή παίζοντας το σύστημα είναι πολλά πιο απαιτητικό σε ό,τι αφορά τη φυσική κατάσταση και συνάμα και η συγκέντρωση. Δηλαδή το παίζεις 3-5-2, θέλεις τα full pack σου, θέλεις να πρεσάρεις ψηλά, να επιστρέφεις πίσω, να είσαι συντονισμένος, δηλαδή είναι όπως μια χορογραφία παραπάνω, να πεις το ίδιο ισχύει και σε άλλα συστήματα. The second half started similarly to the first. We held the lines comfortably without being really threatening towards them. The goal we scored was actually they pulled in Omonoia. This is what I wrote στα μηνύματα μας, ότι ήταν έναν τέρμα το οποίο αν το ετρώαμε εμείς νομίζω θα ακούαμε το τέλος του GWA, οπότε που το 60 θεωρώ ότι προσπαθήσαμε και εμείς να κερδίσουμε λίγα μέτρα, έκαναμε και κάποιες αλλαγές τις οποίες προφανώς είχαν πρόθεση να διεκδικήσουμε κάτι, επειδή τώρα εστρώησε ένα 0 ή 2-0 νομίζω δεν έκανε μεγάλη διαφορά. Ήρθε η ισοφάριση και από περίμενες ότι ήταν να κρατήσει η ομάδα. Θεωρώ ότι η ισοφάριση ακόμα μια φορά από προσανατόλισε μας και δεχτήκαμε έναν τέρμα πολλά εύκολο θεωρώ. Ήταν λάθος και ο τρόπος που στηθήκαμε, ήταν μια φάση που είναι μυριζέν και καταφέραμε και έδωσαμε τους το τέρμα. Εφάνηκε ότι θέλαν το, δηλαδή άμα δεις και την αντίδραση του προπονητή τους πώς το επανηγύρισαν και οι παίχτες τους ήταν κάτι το οποίο το επιδιώκασαν. Εγκρίμαν επειδή τούντες ευκαιρίες θα σε έχεις πολλά συχνά και θεωρώ ότι ήμασταν λίγα λεπτά μακριά από μια ιστορική ισοπαλία εκτός έδρας. Ο Ζαχαρίου και ο Ψάλτης δύο παίχτες οι οποίοι ήρθαν να ενισχύσουν το κυπριακό στοιχείο, να δώσουν βάθος. Δυστυχώς την περασμένη χρονιά ήμασταν τόσο κακοί που δεν μπορούσαν να δείξουν τι μπορούν να κάνουν. Λέω ότι να φτάσει στο σημείο να ξεκινά και να τελειώνει η εντεκάδα από εκείνους τους παίχτες, αλλά βλέπεις τον και το Ζαχαρίου και τον Μπάριν να προσπαθούν πάρα πολλά, να είναι involved. So, θέλω να πω έναν μπράβο του Παναγιώτη σήμερα και να συνεχίσει να προσπαθεί και να ξανά έχει σίγουρα ευκαιρίες ο Ζαχαρίου, να προσπαθήσει να κουμαντάρει λίγο το πάθος που έχει μερικές φορές, να σκέφτεται λίγο πιο καθαρά στην τελευταία απόφαση του τέλος πάντων, στο τελική είτε μπάσα είτε finish, και απλά να μην προσπαθεί τόσο πολλά να αποδεικνύει ότι μπορεί να κάνει, να ηρεμήσει και να του βγουν παιχνίδια και να έχει ευκαιρίες, οπότε θέλω να πω έναν μπράβο και στο Ζαχαρίου.
They are fucking poor. We need to be, if we don't win this game 4 or 5-0, you know, there's something fucking wrong.
There's something clearly wrong with you, love. Maybe it's your face. Maybe it's your life. The disrespect is real. But the fact is, Gobelia, Omonoia played against Manchester United. Manchester United that can afford to spend £100 million on a player. Our club record signing is barely over £1 million. And we had them by the balls. At halftime, they were shitting themselves. And I tell you what, if it weren't for some, shall we say, questionable decision-making from the referee and the people that are running VAR, we could have had a penalty. But you know what? We leave this game with our heads held high. Again, like we did against Sociedad. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars.
But it's like...
Sorry, Chris.
It's like Stel said, okay, Daxi, maybe it was a bad night. Maybe we're making him into a bigger star than he actually is. But it's some players that I feel that...
I'm fucking not.
I feel like, why can't certain players be dropped? Why can't certain players be substituted? I mean... But I'm pissed off. My head is all over the place. I really don't know what to say. I feel γίνεται να κάνουμε την άλλη ομάδα, να τη ζώαν την πρώτη της νίκης σήμερα. Η χειρότερη ομάδα του πρωταθλήματος. Sorry that I'm being disrespectful. I'm just saying things how the fuck they are. Γίνεται ρε φίλε.
Like, honestly, you don't know how happy I feel today, because like my missus is at home at the moment, right? And obviously she's listening to radio on the way to school, and you know, there's people on the radio going, Man United have got a team called I'm thinking, and she's texting me going, you want to hear these knobheads on the radio, what they're saying, like,
no.
They're saying it's going to be this much, this is going to be 6-0, 7-0, and I'm just so proud, mate, because obviously I played for the club for many years, and for the players to go to Old Trafford and put a performance on like that, and for the fans to show the Man United fans and the, you know, spectators in general how fans should be. Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So proud. So honestly, so proud.
In terms of players, like you look at the goals Ari and Buffalo score over the weekend, the level is very high in those teams, especially in the attacking part. But he does have a level to challenge better than he's doing, right? That's the issue that I have, I think, with him. And you can see this against teams like United and Sociedad. You can't put in performances like that and telling me like I can't beat Salamina because the players are not there.
Bro, it's like I said, yeah. When you're playing against the likes of Salamina, no disrespect, right? If you ain't putting in a 7 out of 10 performance minimum against this lot, get out the door. Get out the door. Because again, and you know what? I'm probably going to get shit canned for this, even by some of the players. But when it's raining and it's pissing down, you need to show some fucking balls, man. That's why I was thinking, like, play the British players because they can fucking handle it. Play the British players because they can handle a bit of rain. Little bit of rain, their t-shirts get wet. What is this? Like a wet t-shirt competition? This is football, man. Chris?
Απλά που γιάμιζε εσύ ρε φίλε, τούτη νομίζω είναι η διάφορα των οπαδών. Το πόσο αντέχει άλλος, δηλαδή θωρείς και στα μηνύματα. I'm done, ευαρέθηκα, κανεί, τέλος, καληνύχτα. Ο άλλος μπορεί να σου πει περιμένετε, ο άλλος μπορεί να πει ξέρεις. Ας δούμε τα παιχνίδια, ο άλλος... Το πράγμα ρε φίλε. Αλλά γενικά, ναι, σίγουρα δείχνει παραπάνω προβληματική και άρρωστη κατάσταση τη δεδομένη στιγμή παρά να κάτι που εκπέμπει υγεία. Παρά τις εκλάμψεις στα ευρωπαϊκά παιχνίδια και τις τιμητικές ήττες. Επειδή αμήνεσαι, στέκεσαι με παίχτες πίσω που η μπάλα, επαναλαμβάνω, η συγκέντρωση σου είναι διαφορετική, οι απαιτήσεις μηδαμινές, δηλαδή και εσύ που επίεσαι στην Ισπανία, ρε Μάκη, και ευκάλαμε σένα, λες, αν δεν σε τρώμε οτιδήποτε κάτω από 2-0, ήταν να είμαι ευχαριστημένος. Παίζεις με United, αν τις φάμε 3-0 και κάτω είναι καλά. Πάεις μες στο Old Trafford, λαλίτημα μετά από μια εβδομάδα, να πάω και εκεί μέσα και έχω απέτηση και τραγουδούσαμε, δεν το ζητάω, το απαιτώ, στο Old Trafford θέλω διπλό, ας πούμε. Και στέρκεσαι μέσα στη Σαλαμίνα και τι είναι τούτο ρε φίλε, ας πούμε. Και είπες σχιζοφρένεια, ας πούμε, είναι το πράγμα.
The next guy that comes in, right? We said this before. The next guy that needs to come in, that needs to be a man manager, great motivator. He needs to have tactical nous. That's standard for a manager. That's standard. Yeah, especially these days, especially now where the league is progressing and there are better managers in this league. Anorthosi have got a top manager. A top manager. Yeah, we need to find someone at that level, if not better. Yeah, Gadala is doing well at Bologna. I know they got walloped at the weekend, but he's doing okay. And this is a guy whose first managerial job was last season with Ajax. Yeah, so there are levels, and the next person that comes in is going to look at this squad. And I'll tell you this from now, I promise you, from the first training session, he's going to look at these players and he's going to say, he ain't good enough. He ain't fit. He doesn't run. He looks like he's getting bribed. I'm telling you. We're here to talk about our new head coach, Yannick Ferrara. An exciting appointment, I must admit. I didn't know too much about him. I still don't know too much about him, hence the reason why Stefan is here. But that video clip I played earlier was from the Mastering the Mind podcast done in April. And it's a very refreshing take on football. And do you know what? The one thing that stood out most, obviously, from the whole episode was that particular clip, because right now I believe that we need a very headstrong coach that knows how to motivate the players, but also to be progressive and to play a completely different style to what we're seeing at the moment. We saw Henning Berg play a 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. Same with Lennon, even though in Europe we've played a 3-5-2 system. But things haven't been working. And we've spoken about the mentality of the players. We've spoken about the ability of the players. But we haven't really touched on the progressive nature of having a head coach that is modern. And Stefan, what can you tell us about Mr. Ferrara?
Well, if you're talking about Yannick Ferrara, you're talking about a very young, ambitious, and modern coach. It's somebody who is... he's a guy who stood up for his own dream like he said in the clip, don't come between him and his dream or he'll crush you. And yeah, that's some typical quote for Yannick Ferreira. He's he came from the bottom and now he's there, like you used to say. And it's quite thrilling to see how he's progressing in his career. He's following his own path. He's not following the typical cliche kind of career path that a Belgian coach is normally following.
But the end product wasn't there. And, you know, I keep saying it's a concern, it's a concern, it's a concern. It's not a concern anymore. We know it's disastrous. We know that there are many, many flaws to this team. And it's now become to the point now where I feel confident playing against teams that defend against us rather than attack us. Because when teams attack us, we just stick 10 men behind the ball and try to hit them on the counter attack. Whereas when we play teams that are, you know, sticking bodies behind the ball, it's a fucking mess, bro. Honestly, I don't even know. The words aren't even coming out anymore. You know, the words aren't even coming out. If you look at, forget the first goal, there was a moment before they scored when I think we tried to play the ball out from the back from a goal kick, which was the first mistake. I don't know what we're doing. We don't have the players to build from the back, especially from goal kicks. That being said, you know, Uzo had a great game against United, but I was telling Mike, his kicking is dreadful. And that's probably one of the reasons why we don't go along with his goal kicks. You know, it's terrible. Yeah. But anyway, there was this one incident where we've gone short and Bruno has come literally into our final third to retrieve the ball. And he's played the ball across the face of the penalty box, right? And they've almost got in behind us. And it's just little things here and there where it's like, I understand we're trying to play football, we're trying to do it, but when we're playing against a team that presses high, they cause us so many problems because our players panic. There were numerous occasions where I'd see Buffalo get the ball, it's one touch pass. Whereas we'd get the ball, take the ball, one touch, try and turn. If you can't turn, take a couple more touches and then play it backwards. There were no outlets. There were no options. And as I said, when we did get in the final third, the ideas were limited, bruv. Honestly, it was bad. We went a goal down before half time. And this is one thing I will say about this club, and it goes back to mentality. These guys need to realize that 45 minutes isn't the length of time of a half. Yeah? There's more time added on. It's almost as if once that 45-minute mark hits or that 90-minute hits, that's it. They switch off completely. So it's like they're on a timer, you know, like an egg timer. Once that minute is up, done, no more. Or 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 45 minutes. It's done. So, you know, they need to get out of that mentality. Once that 45-minute mark hits, you carry on until the halftime whistle blows. And that was our problem yesterday. 45 minutes, done. They had 2 chances in the last 3 minutes of injury time. 2 big chances, and one of them they scored. So again, it's mentality. Now, second half, we went 2 goals down. The second goal, oh my God. Again, I'm going to go to all of this in a bit. But again, the second goal could have been avoided if the ball watching wasn't there. And the problem that we have with the goals that we concede, we keep away cheap goals that could be avoided. Which goal this season have we seen that you couldn't really stop? I think the Agrida goal, because that was just a fluke. The guy shot from like 25 yards. It took a massive deflection and went in the top corner. Couldn't stop it. But listen, the way I see it, both of the goals yesterday could have been avoided. Matthew should have done better. Kasama should have done better. Militic should have done better. And Humber should have done a lot better. Because if you watch the goal, Humber was too busy watching the ball. The guy that scored the goal was 5 yards away from him. Scan. And this is a learning curve. I'm not saying that it's Humber's his fault and Humber should be ashamed of himself for not dealing with it. It's a learning curve. There's something called scanning. I don't know what the term is in Cyprus, or the Greek term for it. But when you're a midfielder, you have to constantly be looking around, even when you're on the ball, when you're off the ball as well. And if you're scanning the pitch, then you can see what's happening around you. Now, being a central midfielder, it's a big responsibility because you're in the middle of the park and everything practically either goes through you or around you. So you need to be aware of your surroundings. Now, for the second goal, okay, Matthews is at fault, Militic is at fault, Kazama's at fault. But when you look at where Humber was, if he's looking around, if he's scanning the pitch, he sees the player to his left and he shuts him down. But again, learning curve. It's a learning curve. But I'll tell you what, boys and girls, and I'm going to get shot down for this, and it is what it is, right? The last 20 minutes of yesterday was some of the best football I've seen us play for over 2.5 years. The one-touch passing, the movement, the creativity, the ability to break the lines, the way that our fullbacks got forward. You know, Lesias was a demon in the last 20 minutes. I don't know what happens to Babu Lee. It's almost as if you roll back the clock 10 years. Even Karim, he was getting behind. And yeah, he was wasteful. Yeah, he was wasteful. He was very, very bad. Very bad, especially in the penalty box. But everything was brilliant. It came to a point where I was like, wow. What am I seeing here? What am I seeing? Like, what's going on? Is this Omonoia? What is this? We went 4-4-2 off the ball, 4-3-3 going forward, and we penetrated them every fucking time. But he took his goal very, very well. The diagonal run between the centre-back and the full-back, the timing of it, he got a spot on, the finish. What I like most about that finish, if you watch it again, what he's done, he's rolled his foot over the ball and he's forced the goalkeeper's hand. So when he's done that, the goalkeeper's moved, Loria's moved, so he knows exactly where he's going to put it, and that finish, absolutely brilliant. So he weren't Bruno Mars tonight. He was Joga Brunito tonight. I'll give him that. It was brilliant. Gaku, if you're watching, bruv, I told you. He knows what I'm talking about. I told you. Gaku, right, has the pace, the energy, and the movement to cause any defenders problems. Any defenders. Don't forget against Man United, that butcher, or Gasabi as they call him, the butcher, right, Martinez, there were some times where Gaguli was getting in behind him and he didn't like it. So understand this. If Gaguli can do that to a world-class centre-back, imagine what he can do in this league. And look at his goal. The running in behind, the movement and the pace. And this is what Rodri Giggs says. Rodri, I don't know if you're watching Rod, but you're the guy that said it and you say it time and time again, so I'll give you your flowers for this. Pace kills. And when you've got movement and spatial awareness as a forward, fucking hell. Listen, the finish was a little bit of a messy finish, but I don't give a shit. I don't care. He got his goal and he made the goal. Now, I don't know who played the ball through to him. I don't know. Sorry. I was too busy getting excited about the moment. So if you guys can tell me who played the ball over to him, they deserve fucking credit as well, because that was a sublime pass. And probably Bruno deserves a little bit of credit as well for putting off the defender, which made it a bit easier for Gagu. But then there was that one moment of madness. Where we've won a free kick. Now, I don't know who took our free kick quickly, because what happened was, if you guys remember, the cameraman, a fucking spastic, sorry for using that language, a fucking idiot, right, zooms in on Babuli. Then whoever decides in the production room to fucking go to a replay. In the meantime, we've taken a quick free kick. They're showing the replay. Next thing you know, I'm hearing cheering. What the fuck's going on? And then, all of a sudden they scored. So I'm like, which dickhead in that production truck decided that it was wise to switch to a replay? But the biggest question is, which fucking idiot decided to take the free kick quickly? Which idiot? Tell me now, who decided to take that free kick quickly, right? On 80-odd minutes, 88 minutes, however long it was, right? It's like with Sociedad again. Why are you trying to play things quickly? Take the point. Take the point. Or at least slow it down a little bit. Because we achieved nothing by taking that free kick quickly. Achieved nothing. And then when we conceded, again, deer in headlights, Francis takes a goal kick. The first time he's actually played a decent goal kick, mind. Yeah? And Hector's walking away like he's Craig David. What is this? What is this? How fast is a sneeze? When you sneeze, the air coming out of your nose and mouth travels at the same speed as a Category 2 hurricane, 160 kilometers an hour. Fucking hell. What's better, smell or taste? Your sense of smell is 10,000 times more sensitive than your sense of taste. About 80% of what you taste comes from what you can smell, which is why you don't taste much at all if you have a cold. I feel like I had a fucking cold all season. Why are farts noisy? That's for Yordi. What you hear when you fart is the vibration of your sphincter muscles as air passes through them. The sort of sound you get depends on how fast the air is going. And did you know you have more bacteria on your body than there are people in the world? This book got me through this game. Why it's not sticky. And there's loads of factual stuff, which is brilliant. I mean, do you sweat all the time? Well, how many players sweat today? Welcome to No Choftes.
Είμαστε losers, ρε φίλε. Είμαστε losers που τον πρώτον ως τον τελευταίο σε όλα τα επίπεδα. Συγγνώμη που το λαλώ το πράγμα, αλλά τούτον είναι, ρε φίλε.
To interrupt you, it's called the loser mentality. If before the game even fucking starts, you know, και λέω το επειδή εν κάθε χρόνο τα ίδια σκατά, they've got this thing, αν παίζεις με τα Μποέλ, ένα χωμένοι που πριν, ρε φίλε, σαν πως νιώθουν ότι μπορούν να δέρουν, ρε. This is every fucking year. It's about the mentality, bro. It's about the fucking mentality. Look at this fucking comment also. Spot on.
Και λέω σου ξανά, εγώ θεωρώ ότι το ΑΠΟΕΛ εσεβάστηκε μας κιόλας. Δηλαδή όταν σε 96-97 λεπτά η μόνη σου ευκαιρία shot on goal είναι ένα shot που left back σου, φίλε, τίποτε. Ούτε χαρακτήρα, ούτε αντίδραση, ούτε νεύρων, ούτε... You know, μερικές φορές στα ντέρπι οι τακτικές πάνε περίπατον και it boils down to the one who wants it the more, the passion, the determination, the aggressiveness. Τίποτε, ρε φίλε. I can't find a single thing to say. And at this point, you know, we have to congratulate Abuel for the win.
And do you know what? As God is my witness, Bezos came on, and the first thing he did was miscontrol the ball, and they went up the other end and almost scored. At the end, before he scored, he took a corner, which couldn't beat the first man. And I said it, this guy, he can't do anything. I'm just done with him. And literally seconds later, he puts the ball in the back of the net. And I'm just laughing now. I'm like laughing. Because it's like, it's sod's law, isn't it? You're sitting there shitting on the guy for 20, 25 minutes. Like, this guy's fucking useless. He can't do nothing. What's the point? He's fucking up here and there. He's losing the ball. He can't take corners. And he gets a bit of luck with the deflection where he's missed whatever. But it was a great finish, man. I'm going to say something now. God, the way Bruno today, I can't be angry with him. And I'll tell you why. Because it was just one of those games where it just wasn't happening for him. It just wasn't happening for him. Everything he tried, it just wasn't working. It just wasn't happening. And I could tell that he was getting frustrated. And I've actually started to feel sorry for him. Like, all these times I've been shitting on him, right? This game, it just wasn't happening for him. You just know it's one of those days for him, right? There's one moment, I think it was in the second half, actually. It was in the second half, where he's lost the ball in their half. He's tracked the runner. He's won the ball back. Yeah. And instead of going back up, he's tried to turn around with the ball. I'm like, where are you going? Yeah. My brother, where are you going? And at that point, I was like, you just know it ain't his day. There was that opportunity in the second half where he's got the ball and he's rolled his foot over it and he's tried to put it in the near post and the goalkeeper saved it. And again, you just know it ain't happening for him. And I felt sorry for him. I actually felt sorry for him. I wasn't shitting on him today. I was like, all in all, bruv, up until they scored, we looked good. The moment they scored, again, back into the shells, you know, how can I put it? No ideas, no plan B.
Stay up.
10 minutes ago, he takes off Loizu and I can't remember who the fuck he took off. Then he throws on Matavs and Gaguli thinking that, hey, let's hit it long. Well, do you know what? Great, fine. Let's hit it long. I've got no problem with it. In injury time, you're hitting it long. You're trying to aim for the tall guy. But you know what? Matavs had 2 players around him every time that ball was in there. So they knew. They knew straight away. Let's stick Tomovic on him and another guy because they're going to hit it long. Barker came on, did nothing because Barker hasn't got any pace. So, you can't expect him to run at wingers, fullback, because he's got no pace. So, all in all, we're fucked. But this is the goal, yeah? That's, as you can see, it's from my television screen, right? But what I want to say, look at Gusso. He's received the ball from Barker. Yeah, so Barker's, and look at this one-touch pass. I mean, that's brilliant, man. Look at that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Look, I've been shitting on him, right? And I'll be the first to admit, that ball is fucking sexy, man. I mean, look at that. One touch.
It is.
That is perfect, man. It's perfect. So I'll give Gusso his flowers, man.
Yeah,
I'll give him his flowers. He deserves that. And I'll tell you what now, another thing, Barker is starting to impress me a bit as well, because let's get it right. Wasn't it his quick thinking against Kloraga, which played Lesiak's in? So he's had a couple of influential moments, shall we say. I'm not getting on this bandwagon that he's going to be the next fucking, Nunasis, relax, okay? But I'm giving players their flowers because I can't shit on anyone after a victory. I can't. I really can't. Because we've been complaining about victories. We've been complaining about not winning games. We've been complaining about the game against Ajax, whatever. All right, Apollon ain't, a special team. Right? In fact, I think only ANTROPI are worse than them at the moment. You could say AEL, but at least AEL won their last game, So, look, it's a victory. If we don't, it goes back to what I said, it's a lose-lose situation. If we'd have lost the game, Nice would have been out. We've won the game, and people messaging me saying it should have been 4. Well, I don't care. Like I keep saying, give me 20, 25, 26 1-0 victories this season. I don't give a shit.